weekly feed, Kyle Meredith, talking with Damien Rice. Damien Rice, who we have said, where is Damien Rice? And everyone has now been asked. I'm guessing that's probably the most asked question you're getting right now. Hi, Damien. Where have you been?
Nowhere really. I guess what happened with me was I needed to sort of just take a shower and scrub. I had to scrub off a bunch of stuff. Because the journey from having made the first record up until the last sort of tour, last big tour with the second record, it was a journey where it started off with real innocence and lighthearted excitement and enthusiasm just to play music, and then ended up in a place that was where we just sort of took on a lot of stuff along the way. A lot of mud got stuck on the wheels, and kind of needed to take everything and take it apart and give it a good scrub and see if I could get it back to where it was when it all started.
An 8-year bath.
An 8-year bath, yeah. Baths are good.
Yeah. How hard was it to take control of your life when it's on that kind of trajectory? I mean, I think we all get a little, we come off the track a little bit with life, but when you're being shoved through the machine of whatever kind of stardom, you want to put the label on that. How hard is it then to just stop and take your own control?
It probably really depends on the individual. It depends on the time, the situation. For me, it was very easy to stop at that point because things had just gotten so uncomfortable that it was that the only thing to do was stop. I guess the challenging part after stopping was knowing what to do next, because it was very easy in some ways just to just do nothing, or to just sit and wallow. And at the beginning, it was certainly hard to just motivate, to find a reason to actually get up out of bed in the morning and do something for myself. If you're in a space that's where you're finding yourself a little bit down and you don't have a job that you have to be at a certain time, or you don't have kids that are screaming at you. I thought I was in this situation where I thought I was, free, and I thought that was a great thing to have, but it actually ended up kind of a little bit bizarre because I got into this place where I had no responsibilities. And so I didn't have to be up in the morning, I had finished the tour, didn't have to make another record, I didn't really have to do anything. And so I actually fell very easily into this space of non-motivation, and it took a while to sort of drag myself out of that again and actually get up in the morning and do something.
There's almost a scary point here. We talk about the pressure that comes along with success and everything, and even a little bit about what I've read about you during the second record with 9. It's almost like if achievement, you've in the past talked about achievement, and if achievement can't give you the happiness, that becomes scary, I think, for all of us. Realizing your dreams when you said, okay, you've done it, and now what?
That's something I feel like I learned very clearly. Money, the success, record sales, whatever things that society or people or me or people around me thought were the symbols of these are the things that you can tick and go, you achieved this, you got this, therefore you should be happy. I got to learn very clearly that none of those things make you happy. You're always left with yourself at the end of the day. It's when you get into bed at the end of the night, or you could be just having a shower, you could be just sitting somewhere on a train, or in a taxi, or when you're not distracting yourself with something else. You've got yourself, and you got your brain, and you got your thoughts, and if that's not good, if what's going on inside it there is not doesn't feel right, then nothing else really feels right, and life ends up being like a constant effort to get out of your head, to get away from yourself, you know. And so what I did is, over the last few years, I did the opposite of what I had done before, which was I actually I went more and more inside of myself. I went more and more inside of the things I was trying to run away from. Anything that I was, anything I found myself afraid of, whether it be something like swimming with sharks or saying hello to a stranger that I just thought looked interesting, whatever the fears were, or saying sorry to somebody, or whatever it was that I found myself afraid of, I basically forced myself to just do those things.
Yeah.
And the more and more I did that, the harder it got to find things that I was actually afraid of, and then life just started to really bubble and really open, and everything started to become very very light and very colourful, and creativity started to really flow, and people that started entering my life were really inspiring human beings, and the whole thing started to change once I faced my fears on the inside. Everything on the outside just started to transform completely.
Yeah. Were you surprised that so many people were still completely on board with you when you did finally decide to return?
I honestly don't have a concept in my mind of there are so many people who are still on board. I just don't take that on. I have no idea.
Yeah. It's probably better that way.
Yeah, somebody asked me, I was in Iceland, I did an interview just recently, and they said, oh, it's been a long time since the last record. There must be a lot of pressure now on the expectations of this record. Do you feel that pressure? And I just don't. It's none of my business what other people think, and it's none of my business how many people show up or don't show up or show interest or not. And it's not about that for me. If I was to rely on that or look for that to feed me, then I think I'd just end up with a feeling of emptiness. Yeah. That's not what feeds me. What feeds me is just like is all internal stuff. It's like, how authentic can I be? How can I improve what it is I'm doing? That's my business. That's my work in a sense, and it's the thing I'm passionate about.
Yeah, because it's a screwed up relationship, I think, from fans to artists, because we listen to this record and we think it's almost like there's hope that you've had a bad time, because that's where great art comes from, right? It comes from pain. And there's that weird relationship with fans thinking, well, if he's had a bad time, then we're going to get a great record when he finally comes back.
Well, it's just a concept as well.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily true in that, like, I used to think that, I needed to have pained relationships in order to feel something. But I've learned that the main reason for that is because I didn't know how to be vitally alive unless I made a mess of a situation, and it was because I was afraid. Before I was afraid to be vitally alive. But if you get hurt or angry, you care less about what people think about you, and so it's in that space that you might write a great song, because you're like really fired up. And I'm sort of learning recently just to just be able to care less about what people are thinking.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know we're already running long. I do want to ask a few specifics about the album, my favorite Faded Fantasy. It starts with a falsetto. It starts with someone who's not Damien Rice, it feels like. It almost feels like a brand new person. Mm-hmm. Why did you choose to do that? Where did that come from?
It just happened.
That was it?
Just the way, I just wrote that. That song got written in the studio, and I was by myself. It was late at night. Everybody'd gone home, and I just started writing the song, and it just came out like that. Yeah. And so I just recorded it like that. And yeah, the questions for me that are specific to songs, or the meanings of the songs, or why they were done this way, I can come up with answers, but probably each time I come up with an answer, it's going to be different, because there is no real sort of specific answer to a lot of these things, because it would be best covered if I said something like, I just followed and flowed with whatever popped and happened and at the time, and just, you know, did my best to be as wildly loose and didn't think about it, you know. And somebody could say, "Oh, well, that's not a good strategic move," or "Oh, that's a great strategic move." And it's like, there's no real strategy. It's just like, oh, that just felt right. That was it, you know.
Yeah. Well, I guess the intrigue for me was that's what starts off the record after there has been this lapse in time, and it's fun because it is like, hey, whatever you thought about me, maybe you didn't have it right. Maybe, you know, all of that digging in and poring over the words. Maybe you didn't really understand, you know, who I was.
I don't even understand who I am. So, you know, if anybody else thinks they've got a handle on it, I mean, that's the thing. Does anybody really understand who they are?
Sure.
And I don't even know that that's the point, you know.
People really centered in on your use of the word manger in I Don't Want to Change You.
All right.
I was looking at it because you don't hear the word manger unless it's a Christmas song, and I heard somewhere there's a second definition, and I haven't been able to confirm this, where manger actually refers to a depression, which I found very interesting in the context. But it is like you went for manger. What did it rhyme? Was this that it? Did it come out?
No, it wasn't about the rhyme. No, it popped. These things pop.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, they pop, and they pop from a place that's not thinking about it. It's like they pop from the place that knows what it's doing better than I know what I'm doing. Yeah. It's like when I'm playing the guitar. If you ask me, what's your third finger doing on that second line of that song, I have absolutely no idea. Right. But I could look at it, you know, if I'm doing a song and I go, stop there, what's your third finger doing? And I have no idea, let me see. Oh, it's playing D, so it's on the last string and the second fret. There you go. But I wouldn't have any idea. Because do you understand?
Yeah. No, I completely understand where you're getting at.
The fingers know so much better what to do than I do. And it's the same with the words. Yeah. The words know what they're doing so much better than what I do. They do their thing, and, you know, you could ask me, why is that word there? And it's like, well, because it wanted to be.
Yeah. Well, now we have manger in a non-Christmas song, so well done, Damien Rice. Well done.
Well, thank you, but it wasn't me, so, you know, it did it itself. And that is really what happens. You know? It's like I say thank you, you know, if people say, you know, well done, I go, oh, thank you, that's very nice, but I really don't believe it. Like, I honestly... Yeah. The thing that I'll tell you what I can say that I did. I got up in the morning when I didn't want to get up in the morning, and I made an effort to work really hard when I really wanted to run away. That's what I did. But anything else, it wasn't really me.
With everything you've said so far about getting in that good spot and just being good with yourself, and once again, I feel like at this point I am reading into the lyrics too much, but the record ends with you repeating the words, not enough.
Yeah, it's the addiction.
Yeah.
The addiction, thinking, you know, more. When I get more, I'll be happy. You know, when I get more love, I need more love. I need more food, more money, more. I need more friends. I need more satisfaction or more relief or whatever it is. I need more beauty. I need whatever it is. It's like this endless addiction into the whirl that, you know, when I get this, then I'll be okay. You know, and it's like, and it's just not true. You know, it's like you already have it. You have more than enough. In fact, you have everything right now.
Right now. Are we going to see the last two songs, Carmelias and Mustard Seeds? Okay.
Camarillas, yeah. People who get the wooden box, I think they get Camarillas. And Mustard Seeds will do its thing when it's time.
All right.
Yeah. There were other songs as well. That photograph was just taken on a particular day when we were focused on those 10 songs.
Damien, thank you so much. It has been great talking to you, and welcome back.
Thank you.